Welcome to the Marketing Revolution podcast. This is the underground movement of savage marketers from all over the world. We are not Fortune 500 companies. We are real entrepreneurs with real businesses that have one major thing in mind: to set goals and devour them daily. Because we understand that everyone wants to eat, but only savage marketers are willing to do the hunt. Now let's get this revolution started. Hey, what's up, everybody? John Hiley here with the Marketing Revolution podcast and the Marketing Savage Facebook group, coming to you with another couples show. You're about to be Dr. Motherfucking Phil up in here.
I don't know.
Now, if I'm Dr. Phil, who are you? You Oprah?
Oprah?
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
So you're Oprah, and I'm Dr. Phil.
Oh my God.
You think Oprah and Dr. Phil have ever slept together?
Dear Lord, no. No, dear God, no.
Really? You couldn't see that?
Oh, don't know. I don't even want to try and picture that.
I don't know. Dr. Phil kind of looks like a John Holmes.
John Holmes.
You don't know who John Holmes is?
I don't want to go there.
She doesn't know who John Holmes is, guys.
You're a dirty man.
Anybody close to my age or older is shaking their head.
He's a dirty man.
They all know who John Holmes is.
Stop it. Oh, you're horrible.
He died.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to go down this little road of the story.
You remember that time that I wanted to hire Ron Jeremy to be on one of our podcasts?
Oh, dear God.
Just because I thought it would have been absolutely hilarious.
That's disgusting.
I just wanted to get on there and be like, so what you doing now, man? I bet you I could hire him for $500 to be on one of my podcasts.
That'd be kind of disgusting.
That's probably what he got paid for his work.
Remember when we went to that one concert and you were talking to what's his name?
What's his name?
You know, it was down there in Dayton. We went to that. Remember?
Oh, you talking about DJ Muggs from Cypress Hill?
Yes.
Or are you talking about Jizza from the Wu-Tang Clan?
Which one did you talk to?
Both of them.
You know, the one that was sitting up there at the bar.
I swear to God, here's the funniest thing, right? So my dude who's throwing this event down in Dayton, it was literally on 420. It was like a weed smoking fucking fest event, and it was he was called the 420 event. And the funny thing is, my buddy who threw the event, he's actually his birthday is on 420.
Oh, okay.
So it was kind of like a birthday bash at the same time. Mm-hmm. And he ends up flying in or bringing in the Wu-Tang Clan and Cypress Hill.
Yeah.
A bunch of other different like bands, but them were the defining bands that I remember that he got to come there.
Yeah.
And long story short, he wasted a lot of money really quickly. Mm-hmm. it was like money he really should have invested or kept or something like that. And so he brings them in, right? And we ended up getting third floor, was a VIP room pass or whatever. Mm-hmm. So we were up there with the band and stuff like that. And we had our own table. We had like a bottle table where they were giving us full bottles of vodka, I think.
Yeah, but come on, get to the story.
And so anyhow, he comes out and he's like, "Hey, dude, I just want to let you know Jizza's getting ready to come in here," which is, if you guys don't know who Jizza is, he's like the Wu-Tang Clan, man. So he's like, Jizza from the Wu-Tang Clan. So he comes up to me, he goes, "Hey, man, Jizza's coming out here." He's like, "Don't say anything stupid to him."
Oh, my God.
So I'm like,
don't say anything stupid.
I'm like, okay, fucking retard. So he leaves, and then Jizza comes out. So I walk up, I'm just talking to him, like kind of bullshitting for a minute. And then I told him that his mom should be proud of him. Which is basically me saying something stupid to him. I don't even know where that came from. I was just like, "Man, your mom should be proud of you." He's like, "Yeah, she is." And I'm like, "Yeah, cool."
Oh my God.
So the funniest part is Man, that was back then. That was back in the day. I mean, that's been a while, hasn't it? I mean,
yeah, we were probably in our late 20s.
Yeah, so we decided to bake a ton of these ganja cookie brownies. A friend of ours who we got into the club, he was a, let's just say he was a strug stealer. and he got us all of this this butter, like this ganja butter, and this is back before the whole Colorado thing where everybody had it, and everybody was getting all this stuff and bringing it back from trips to Colorado or whatever. This was back when it was like the real deal, made in somebody's back kitchen type shit. And
shit will fuck you up.
This shit was like, it was.
It'll make you hallucinate.
It did.
Make you see things that you never thought you would.
It made us hallucinate one night.
I prayed to God. I was like, dear God, please, if you just let me make it through this night, I will never eat this shit again.
And that's just from...
I never ate it again.
And that's just from ganja butter, THC butter. So anyhow, we had this whole thing of cookies. And I remember it was a whole thing of getting them things snuck in there because the Dayton police knew that it was a 420 show.
Yeah.
They were like really fucking with people. I mean, they were like patting people down. They had like the whole police force there, like at the front entrance, and we're standing there with this Tupperware full of these ganja cookies.
Standing there with it. Who had that?
We all had them in the car, and then we had to figure out a way to get them in.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting a hold of my boy, my boy Jake, who got us hooked up, whatever. And he's like, all right, dude, well, we'll get him in with the band. So he ends up sending one of the bands down, and we ended up giving them to them. And then they took off, right? And then I shit you not, like 5 minutes later, the guy who was handling our whole VIP entrance and stuff like that, like literally just walked us right past the police.
Yeah.
And walked us into like the area where all the band members and all this stuff walk in. This may be probably one of the most elaborate experiences that I ever had, actually.
Oh my God.
You guys are probably sitting there thinking like this happens to me every day. I don't think it's happened to me since, to be honest with you.
No.
Well, no, we got some pretty good VIP treatment at JD Legends.
Yeah.
And we were actually hanging. Who were you hanging out with that time?
Aaron Lewis.
No, but not the time before that. The rappers. We were hanging out with Naughty by Nature.
Yeah, Naughty by Nature. That was a good time.
And then Tone Loc.
Yeah, that was a really good time.
We were on stage
so
dancing.
Fun.
Okay, so this shit happens to us all the time.
It doesn't happen all the time.
But I literally was just thinking like this is the only time it happened. I'm like, well, except when I hung out with Naughty by Nature and Tone Loc, and then then Aaron Lewis. Yeah, that too. So anyhow, yeah, shit happens to us all the time. But so he literally just walks us in, and then we spent the whole night trying to track down this band that we ended up giving our ganja cookie things to, and it was like just at the nick of time they showed up with all of them.
Yeah,
didn't even eat any of them. They just showed up with them. They had them, everything like that. We were like, these motherfuckers stole our shit, and they're probably out there eating them, getting all fucked up and laughing.
I don't know. They were probably like, man, I don't know if I want to eat.
What's in there, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So basically, we're in this third floor VIP access deal, and we got Jizza from the Wu-Tang Clan over there, and people were like taking pictures with them and all this shit. Girls are pulling out their titties and taking pictures with them.
God.
She didn't like that, did you?
Shut up.
You remember the titty pics, honey? Do you remember the time that girl pulled out her titties and took a picture with a Jizza?
Oh, I'm gonna beat you. Just wait till the show's over.
Wasn't she crying on the couch after that though?
Yeah, I knew what was gonna happen.
What did I do with my life?
Yeah.
I showed my titties to Jizza. All right.
Stop.
He probably sees a lot of titties when he's out and about.
Oh my God! Stop, John.
That must
Get
be like
back on track.
That's like a perk of being a rapper. It's like a bonus. Like you get your normal pay, and then you get that as like some sort of extra bonus, right? So what
is wrong with you?
Well, so we're walking around this club, and we're giving out
bonus, huh?
Yeah, we're like giving out these fucking pretty much. I think that the cookies and the ganja butter was mixed with LSD.
It probably was.
Because I never had anything that made me feel exactly
No. Oh, dear Lord.
I think somebody like who made them goes, hey, man, maybe I'll just throw a few drops of this in each one.
Yeah, I think that's what happened.
So we're going around, and here we're having another show where we're just talking about getting fucked up on drugs. You know what, man? Maybe that's why I'm a good marketer. Because I can see in dimensions that like other people can't really
Probably
see.
so.
So I can feel emotions other people can't feel. I've unlocked all them dirty little brain cells.
Maybe it's just when we're together.
Yeah. Well, it's so funny. Like, okay, so I'll just get back to the story. I was getting ready to go off on a 100% rabbit hole right there. I was getting ready to dive down something that would have just took me somewhere else.
Oh shit!
But so we're walking around the show and we're passing out these ganja cookies and these brownies to like anybody who wants them, and really not even telling anybody what they're eating.
No,
And
no,
I remember,
they knew what they were
I
getting.
do remember one dude, he takes one and he eats it and he looks at me, or he takes a bite of it and he looks at me, he goes, hey man, there's not marijuana in these, are there? And I'm like, oh yeah, dude, there's a lot. He's like, oh no, I'm in the military. And he's like trying to spit it out, and get rid of it. So I'm like, oh, my bad.
I remember that.
Yeah, you remember that?
Yeah, I totally forgot.
So we
about
get
that.
around, and then all of a sudden some dude looks at me, and it's DJ Muggs from the Cypress Hill. He's just like sitting up at the bar, like drinking a beer.
This is when it gets weird.
So I was like, what is up? What's going on, DJ Muggs? How you doing? He's like, yeah, I'm pretty good, I guess. And I'm like,
It's weird.
And I say something to him. I'm like, well, dude, man, I don't know. I didn't tell him that his mother should be proud of him, but I said something else that was really stupid. It was something like I congratulated him for all the money he makes or something like that. And he's like, he's like, nah, not really, man. Actually, there wasn't a lot of money at all. And I'm like, oh, dude, I'm sorry, man. That's horrible. I'm like, so, hits from the bong. You want some of these cookies or these brownies? And he's like, nah, man. He looks at me and goes, you think you could score me some crack? Or maybe some cocaine?
Me and you both looked at each other and were like, what the fuck did we just walk into?
Yeah, what did we just walk into? Yeah, he didn't want anything to do with the ganja. That's all they sung about. But if any of you guys have listened to Cypress Hill,
Oh, shit.
But yeah, that was a crazy night. That was a crazy, crazy night.
Yeah.
That was the night you and your brother shared your nicknames with... shared your nicknames with a group of our friends, and they kind of voted on who had the worst one.
Yeah, so back in the day when I was younger, my Uncle Joe lived on a farm and
used to call her Moo Moo.
Yeah. He used to have pigs and cows and chickens,
But wait till you guys hear what her brother's nickname was.
And that's what I was like. I don't think I was like chubby. I think I might have been like a little chubby,
Yeah.
I wasn't like overweight or anything, but he called me Moo. That was my nickname for the longest time, Moo.
And then her brother's nickname was, get this, Boober.
Well, my brother brought it up, and I was just like, well, if you're going to sit here and try to like make fun of me,
I'm going to tell everybody that your nickname is Boober.
Was Boober.
And we all kind of unanimously voted in that car that Boober was definitely worse than Moo Moo. Oh.
Hey, so are we going to tell them the one story? When did that happen?
Did we even talk about that last time?
Was that a couple years ago that happened?
Did we mention that we were going to talk about how you were caught in that international sex scam?
No, that's when we were supposed to. But how long ago was that? Was that like 3 years ago?
It might have been 2 or 3 years ago.
No, it wasn't 2 years. I think it was like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
4 years ago?
Yeah.
Let me see here. I would probably say like 3 or 4 years ago. So what had happened is I had noticed that I was getting this package delivered to me today, or back then. And I was like, I didn't order anything, and I thought, well, John and I's anniversary is coming up. I was like, maybe he ordered me something special. And
this would have been a great thing to order, too.
Yeah, and it was being delivered today. And I looked where the package was coming from, or the name of the company, and I Googled it. And when I Googled it, it was like they use like a discrete name when you're ordering like adult toys.
Sex toys.
Yeah. And I was just like, oh shit. I'm like, what the fuck is John ordering for me? So next thing you know.
Maybe it was my fleshlight.
So next thing you know, I'm like, okay, this package is coming. The doorbell rings. I go down, it's the UPS guy. And the UPS guy's got like, because I had to sign for the package, you know? So the UPS guy's got this weird look on his face. And I'm like, why does he got this weird look on his face? He probably knows.
Oh, I doubt he knew.
Come on now. You don't think
Even
that
if you're a UPS guy, you think you're not delivering dildos all over the place?
Well,
I bet
mean,
that's half of the orders that's on that truck.
That could be true. So
Probably he'd have a crazy look if it was like this giant one. You know what I mean? Like,
well, you know
one of
what?
them double-headed.
Listen, I remember when I answered the door, I had a big smile on my face because I felt really awkward. So he probably thought like, oh, she's so excited that she gets this package.
Woo!
So
Good
I had to sign for the package. And when I opened it up, so it had, of course, you know, my name and my address. And when I opened up, I seen what it was. And I'm like...
That was one of them. Hey, it was one of them Hitachi massagers.
I don't know. But anyways, when I got the billing information out, I had somebody else's name on it.
Hey, we still got that thing around here?
No, I threw it away.
You threw it away?
No, it sat up in the closet for a while, and it was like this, it looked like a massager, but it could be used for other areas as well. And it only had one attachment. So, anyway.
I bet she got it hidden somewhere.
I don't know. I threw that thing away. So, anyways, I'm like, why does this have somebody else's billing information? So, I actually called the company, and they said, it's yours. Maybe you have, like, a secret admirer. There's no, like, fraudulent activity that's going on with this and this and that. And I'm like, man.
But it had somebody else's name on it.
Yeah, another lady's name and address, and I even
and we
Googled
Facebooked her. We found her on Facebook.
Yeah, and no, we didn't. I don't think
we were kind of wondering because we had at the time we were doing a lot of our other podcast.
Yeah,
and we really wondered if somebody from the podcast had sent it.
Yeah, so I'm just like, you know, all these scenarios are going on. I'm just like, what the fuck? So then, next thing you know, it was like a day or two later. UPS shows up to the house once again with a package from, I didn't have to sign for this one, but it was from a different company, but it had like the lady's name and our address on it. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
And it was another, actually, we didn't open it because we were like, we didn't open it because we didn't know what was going on with it, right? And then we were having a podcast one night, and we opened it on the podcast.
We opened it at
because
the bottom.
Yeah.
And then we just
found it to be another exact model of a Hitachi massager, two of them.
I don't know if that thing was called Hitachi.
Yeah, I think so. And you know what?
It retailed for like $129 bucks.
They were expensive. And you know what is better than one Hitachi? Two Hitachis. You need one for the front side and one for the back side.
Oh my, oh my, oh my. So anyways, I'm like freaking out and I'm like Googling this stuff. And here there's this thing where like they have this scam that goes on where somebody will order two of the same products and they get delivered to the house. And when UPS comes to pick the item up or something, it goes back to the person that had the person's credit card information, so it gets delivered to them or something.
Somehow they was trying to reroute it. Like the person would give it back to UPS and say, "Nah, this isn't mine."
Exactly. Like
and then it would reroute to somewhere else.
Yes.
Where they collect these Hitachi massagers, apparently.
Yes, absolutely. So it freaked me out a little bit, and I asked John, I'm like, what should I do? And John's like, I don't know. I mean, whatever.
So she done went and called the police.
Yeah, so I'm like, well, I guess I'm just going to call, because I didn't want to get in trouble.
I think you should have called the FBI.
Call the FBI.
It seems more of like a federal, an international
federal
crime.
I called the Centerville police station, and they sent
an officer
over here. And the funny
I
thing
can tell you guys that this is the case that I guarantee that vibrated them to the core. Vibrated them to the core.
The worst thing was is when the police officer came here, he had a porn mustache.
Yeah, he had one. Like, remember how I said John Holmes earlier? This guy had that same mustache. He had that police, like if you just take like one of them black combs, them old school black combs, and you put it under your nose.
Yeah.
Like, he had that mustache.
And then, so John pulls up because he left the shop, and he pulls up and he's just like, has this look on his face like, what the fuck am I walking into? And I was like, I called the police just to kind of like tell them what was going on. And
the police officer was in the car at the time when I pulled up, writing the report. He's probably laughing his ass off, calling back saying this lady called me because she's in the middle of because she's getting vibrators sent to her house.
Well, listen. So he called the company and he said, well, you can keep this one, but have UPS pick the other one up. And I'm going to call the lady that was on that receipt. So he found her number and called and left a message. And he's like, you're all good. You're not going to get in any trouble. You're not involved in any of the scam or whatnot. And I'll give you a call and let you know if anything like comes out,
Did you ever hear back from him?
Yeah. Actually, when we had the Dents for Kids.
Yeah.
And we were over at the shop cleaning up after the charity. Yeah. After the charity. He called and he said that that they had checked their credit card statement and noticed how there was a bunch of fraudulent activity on it.
Man, them scammers, son. What are they doing, trying to get them Hitachis and reselling them somewhere or something?
I don't know. I don't get it because I was able to keep one,
but then the other one, sell.
I was able to keep one, but then the other one was able to be sent back. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
So that's the time that we were caught in midst of an international sex scam.
I was getting all paranoid and shit like this, because I'm like, wonder if more stuff just starts showing up here at the house. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, what the fuck is going on?
I'm not be involved in this dildo scam. Keep your dildos, terrorist. There's terrorists out there sending us dildos in the mail. Who knows? The next one could be a bomb.
Well, who knows what else they were going to send to the house? I read something on the internet where it was like an older man or something had TVs that was being sent to his home.
Oh, I'd keep them. I'm a TV person. I just put a TV everywhere. Just to have one there.
Yeah, but what if you had all these TVs showing up to your house and the next thing you know, you have the police knocking on your door and they're like,
I'll be like, I don't know. I was going to run them down to UPS when I had time. I ain't had time. I ain't had no time running down. Ain't no scam artist going to be sending these TVs to me. I ain't had no time right now.
He's a hot mess.
Yeah, so that's what you tell him. Hey, there's no law against being stupid.
No,
I learned that a long time ago. Mm-hmm. From a mentor of mine.
Yeah.
There's no law against being stupid.
Well, that's
always you got to remember that if the IRS ever brings you in, to try to talk to you, you the dumbest motherfucker alive.
Well, that was the other day I had to go down to LabCorp and get some blood work and stuff like that. And this was so funny. And I'm sitting in there and this lady, she's hot. She was mad. She was mad.
Oh, jeez. Man, talking about these vibrators and stuff like that got you expressing all kinds of truth. This lady was hot.
She was no.
Oh, you mean mad? I'm sorry.
Mad. She was mad.
She was gay. I mean happy. Happy.
Well, she was gay.
Oh, she was?
Yeah.
Happy or gay?
No, she was a lesbian.
Oh, and she was a hot lesbian,
no,
huh?
She wasn't.
Oh my God, we are revealing a lot of.
She was short and she was kind of manly looking.
A hot lesbian, huh?
No.
Wow.
You've seen what she looked like when she
Did
came
you
out
guys
there.
see how this just turned out? Like, how did we just...
John!
Wow,
Quit.
we are discovering a lot about you. I think you're the one being Dr. Phil on this episode.
No, but what I was going to say is
First
that...
she gets vibrators, and then she sees a hot lesbian. All right, go ahead.
I had to get blood work.
All right.
And when she was in there, I said, "Oh, how long has LabCorp been in Walgreens?" And she goes on to tell me that they used to be located in the same plaza as the Dr. Sessler that I go and see. Well, he owns that whole building. So then, don't you remember how I told you how she said that, like, oh, when COVID hit, she was like, that building just sat empty, and now he's like losing all this money. And I'm like, I played stupid because she was getting ready to like stick a needle in my arm, but I was just thinking like, no, he redid that other half, and his like business is booming.
Yeah, people make up their own scenario, you know. It's like, how dare him get rid of me? He's failing. He's failing because he got rid of us.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
No, but I played kind of like, I played airheadish because I'm pretty good at doing that. Mm-hmm. So she had no clue. But no, she wasn't a hot lesbian. She wasn't very appealing at all.
Oh.
In that department.
But you would know that if she was.
Well,
huh?
I mean, if she was a pretty gal, I would say that she was a very pretty gal.
Do you know any pretty gals?
Yes, I know a lot of them.
Okay. All right. All right. I know some pretty guys.
You know some pretty guys.
I know some pretty guys.
Who are these pretty guys that you know?
You know, Jack, Joe, James from the gym. Oh, man. We actually, when we went to the gym, we always give people nicknames.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Don't you remember all the nicknames we gave people?
Oh, you should tell that story about what you saw when you walked into the locker room at Planet Fitness. Remember you said that they were getting ready to play like piggyback or something?
Oh, no, I was joking about that.
You said that they were in there and they were
Well,
naked.
I called them three dudes. I always called the three dudes.
And you
I always
said
called
that they
them.
were like
I had
slapping each other.
I don't know. Yeah, there was these three guys that I just didn't get around.
And they
with.
wanted you to join in too.
They probably did. You know, they probably did.
They tried to start.
What did I nickname
conversation
the
with
one of them? I nicknamed one of them Horseplay, and then I nicknamed the other one. What was the one who I caught itching his butt one time? Like, I swear to God, I wasn't trying to catch this dude itching his butt. Like, I'm literally in there sitting in my car, and I happen to look in my rearview mirror to watch this dude violently itch his butt like I've never seen anybody itch their butt in their life. What'd I start calling him after that?
Itchy butt.
Itchy butt. Yeah. Itchy butt. See, what we're really teaching you guys how to do is to have fun as a couple. To have fun as couples.
So even we got horseplay, itchy butt. Wait a minute. Now, then we had
There's
one.
the guy who looked identical to Nick, which is Amanda's brother. Yes. So we named him Nick. And then we had another guy that looked identical to another Nick that we know.
Yeah. But wait a minute. Wasn't there somebody that you called Socks?
Oh, yeah. The one that was in there. Like,
the hell goes
you know
on
how
in a
when
men's
you
locker
look,
room?
you know how when you walk into the restroom and you know, before you open a stall or something like that, you're going to kind of look under there, check, see if you see any shoes under there, you know,
Yeah.
like somebody's in there. I look under there, and this dude is in there taking a crap with his socks on.
Not wearing his shoes.
Not wearing his shoes. He was just in there in his socks. And since then, I just couldn't shake it. It's like every time I seen him from then on, he was socks.
Oh, shit. So John tells me these nicknames for these these
I think even if I was
people.
naked, I would have slapped some shoes on.
And yeah, especially going into them stalls
Actually-
because you don't know who went and used the bathroom in there.
No,
And
socks are too absorbent.
I know, right?
You know, like,
and men are notorious for not getting all their pee in
and
the toilet.
if you walk around a toilet with just socks on, you're gonna soak up some pee.
I know, especially in a public place.
I should have named them pee socks. I should have added pee socks to it. Wasn't there the one that yeah, the lady. Now this lady was definitely
She was stinky.
well, there was a stinky lady.
What did you name her?
She
She smelled like fried bacon all the time. Remember that?
Yeah, what did I name her?
It was horrible because John made up all these nicknames, and then every time
we went to the gym, we
I'm
had
like,
to
oh
look
shit,
at
I
all.
have to look down because I'd start laughing.
Yeah. But don't you remember the one lady who I nicknamed Marlboro? This lady looked like she could have
She
been
looked like a sailor.
she looked like she could have been a trucker, bro. Like she even had these tattoos
She was
on her
built
arms.
like a man.
Oh yeah, she even had these.
She was real rough looking in the face.
She had like Popeye the Sailor Man, like tattoos that are like mom written on one arm, and on the other arm like a panther with like a, and then
They were
and then on like a
horrible
forearm
tattoos.
like a heart,
Yeah, it was like straight up from like 80s.
Yeah.
They were bad. They were horrible. I mean, not like good tattoos. They were like, they were horrible tattoos. They weren't very good at all. Oh, and then we had Tornado, remember?
Oh yeah, the lady that you thought we lost in a tornado that we had that came through here.
Because like we had that tornado. The tornado.
As soon as
that
we had
came
this
through,
tornado that came through here,
we didn't see her for like
we didn't
2
see her
weeks.
for like 2 weeks.
And I thought something happened.
Yeah.
I was always really impressed because this woman was just like, she'd get on them treadmills or the elliptical machines, and she'd be going like a mile a minute.
I wouldn't want to run beside her.
No.
Like she's one of them people that could
She'd
turn
have it on full incline, like
Yep.
power walking like no other. And I'm just
And
like,
full speed.
I know. And I was like, I was pretty impressed with her. But then she was like gone for a few weeks. And then John's like, wonder if she was on vacation, Angela. And I'm like, well, that's true.
It seemed like you were seriously worried about this lady,
I was,
though.
and then she came back
We had
and-
never really met her.
But I felt like we were friends. She just didn't know it.
Yeah,
She was my pretend friend.
yeah. So anyhow, there's our gym story there. There's our gym
But
story.
we also gave our neighbors nicknames too.
Yeah, we do that too. We're about to run out of time here.
All right.
So
He's good.
we
good.
are going to be flying out to Dallas tomorrow. So we're recording this early right now.
Yeah.
And we're flying out to Dallas on Wednesday, and we're heading out to Apex Mastermind. But they also got an event kind of before that where we're going to go see some of my friends speak. And we're going to be there until we fly back on Saturday.
Yeah.
So good times, good times.
I hope you all had a good laugh this time around.
I hope you did.
I know.
I'm sure Angela likes to re-listen to our podcast on her walks. She will re-listen to it and let me know if it was good.
I'm sure it was.
Yeah.
We have good times together.
We got good times together, baby.
We do have good times.
So anyhow, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and bounce on out of here. Got a lot to do before we already packed, but we got a lot to do tomorrow to sew some things up. I got to finish out some big projects early on and jump on with the coaching inside of the Inner Circle group. Tomorrow we're doing a tactical session. And the coaching call was awesome this week. I do a coaching call every week with the group as well. But anyhow, y'all, got some things we got to sew up and finish up to get that done. So we're going to cut this one a little bit short this time around. About a 33-minute podcast, so not
that's
too
good.
bad.
That's good.
That's good enough. All good in the hood. And we're going to love you long time. And as usual, we're going to see you on that next one.
And remember, it's all about the motherfucking hustle.
Bow, bow.
Pew pew.